chair, and I'm wondering how I get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Stuck in the middle with you.
Well done. We kicked off there brilliantly with our house band, Gus and Finn plus one. Hello, I'm Clive Anderson. Welcome to The Guessing Game, a show that's been described by the Clive Anderson fan club, no less, as a brilliant showcase for the incredibly talented and handsome presenter. The entire membership had a vote of it, and they both agreed. Now, in The Guessing Game, you get points for funny guesses and right answers. We'll ask our panel a series of questions to determine who has the brain of Albert Einstein and who has the brain of his brother, Frankenstein. So let's meet tonight's panel. He is renowned for his lyrical slang verbiage. And let me translate for anyone under 45, that means he's street. It's Imran Yusuf. He's a local lad. He's also a fast-talking comedian, breakfast host of Capital FM, writes for the Daily Record, which is Scotland's version of The Guardian. He took over from Anton Deck on SMTV Live. The show went from 2.5 million viewers to... Well, I won't continue with that. Anyway, it's Des Clarke. My next guest is another lawyer turned comedian. He's the biggest thing to come out of Ireland since the Titanic. Let's hope he goes down just as well. Keith Farnan. So, Keith, you're experienced appearing on shows like this.
Well, I think I'm just experienced at getting interrogated constantly. So,
right.
And guessing at things. It's a very Irish thing. You should look at our budget. We guessed that we had a couple of billion in the bank. We didn't. How wrong were we?
I think even the Scottish banks had some difficulty in the financial crisis.
We did. No, it was kind of a competition between us, Ireland, and Iceland early on to see who was the worst.
Yeah.
I think Iceland won because they went bankrupt, then set a volcano off.
I think Iceland collapsed because its main bank was called Lansky Bansky, and any bank run by the Swedish chef from Muppet Show is going to collapse, obviously.
It was extraordinary for a while, though, that Iceland, which has a population of about the size of, I don't know, Swindon, seemed to own everything in Britain. So we didn't smell a rat, did we? It's sort of weird.
You probably felt guilty for owning everything else around the world for so long, so...
Oh,
sorry to bring that up again. Oh, sorry, too soon? What?
Yeah. Now, Imran, if I can't use a Londoner, so London hasn't come well out of this financial crisis either. So
all of this stuff kind of goes over my head. It's what I did at school. I didn't pay attention, just played video games, and then made a career out of talking nonsense. So yes. I'm in the right place, I think.
So you used to be a head of one of these banks. That's why we went horribly wrong. Okay,
that was like question time, and with your lack of interest, you were like the Lib Dem. They get on every week.
We're gonna have some fun. It's round one.
Yes, thank you very much. Now they say you only use 10% of your brain, but to have a chance on this show, you need to double that to 15%. So fingers on buzzers. Who invented the cat hole?
Was it the man that used to dub action films from the 80s, and cat hole was a nice alternative to what they actually said? Hey, you cat hole.
What would a cat hole be? What do you think a cat hole is?
Was it the man that invented the cat half and thought, I'm going to double this? Big fan of cats and fractions.
Oh, okay. That's another point there for you. You're still nowhere near the right answer. But,
someone who couldn't complete the DIY work on a cat flat. Cat hole.
Yeah, okay, there's another point for you because you're getting close without getting warm. But
was it the SPCA when they ran out of money and just thought, oh, that's where we'll put them? Am I on my own in that? I'm on my own. Okay.
The answer, the inventor of the cat hole, is Sir Isaac Newton. He's widely credited with inventing the cat flap. But really, he only cut holes in his door, and it would take a couple of 100 years more before anyone figured out the flap side of it. Now, this is the really bizarre thing. When Isaac Newton, when his cat had kittens, he cut a smaller hole in the door.
Have we given him too much credit for the apple thing? I'm beginning to think we have.
Here's another question along similar lines. What food could only be eaten with a hammer and a chisel for 48 years?
Coconuts.
coconut. Oh, that's worth a point for...
Walnuts.
Well, that's really the same answer as coconut.
No, it's a totally different type of food.
And it's just...
Can I say monkey nuts? Just...
You
feel
you're
like
just joining in, or you're just expressing a mild form of swearing suitable for afternoon. Oh, monkey nuts.
Monkey nuts, you cat hole. Yeah.
No, the answer is tinned food. The can opener was not invented until 48 years after the can was invented for storing food. And then the advice on the tin told people to smash the edge of the can with a hammer and a chisel.
But on a technicality, you're not eating the tin. You're eating what's inside the tin.
Tinned food was the answer. Tinned food.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Oh, I think I got away with that. Okay. Next question. Why are Jedward effectively banned from performing in North Carolina?
I really feel it's up to me now to defend our new ministers for finance. I think that's wrong. They will lead us into the new future.
Do they come from near you, Jedward? Are they local to you in any way?
The way you said that, because I'd like to track them down. No. I don't think they come from near anyone in Ireland. I think they were actually English and brought over to Ireland. And then it was like, oh, look what the little paddies have done. No!
Is it something to do with hair gel? Is it the fact they wear so much hair gel that could be construed as the work of the devil?
Oh, I see what you... That could be right. To be honest, hair gel isn't my specialist subject, but you look as though you know a bit about hair gel.
Unfortunately, it is mine,
yes. You've got a bit of a Jedward going on there, haven't you?
Yeah. Having a bit of a Jedward. I don't really know how to take that.
The thing is, apparently it's illegal to sing off-key in North Carolina. That's the end of the round. Let's see how the scores are doing. Oh, it's relatively exciting for all but one of you, because Imran and Keith have both shot ahead with 3 points. Des, you've only got 1 point, but well done so far.
It's round 2.
Now, this is a quotations round. It's called Guess Who. We'll play you clips of quotations from famous people using the soothing tones of David Kay, the verbal equivalent of night nurse. And if you can guess who originally said it, well, you'll win points. So, Des Clarke, here's your turn. Here's your quote.
Singing is a gift from God. And when people say I can't sing, it's kind of like insulting God.
Who do you think might have said that?
I think that's both of Jedward.
So I'll give you the options.
Go on.
Was it Aled Jones, Peter Andre, or Fergie?
Fergie, as in Sarah Ferguson.
You went for Sarah Ferguson first.
Yeah.
But there are 2 others it could be.
I should have gone for Sir Alex.
Sir Alex, and there's a third Fergie as well.
Yeah, Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
That's it. So that's basically, I've given you 5 options, I suppose. So is it one of the Fergies?
Yeah.
In which case, which one? Okay, I'll make it easy. It's one of the Fergies. So which... It's going to be here all night as you pummel your way through these.
Well, I'd love it to be Sir Alex Ferguson, who believes that his voice is a gift from God, who cruelly missed out the ability to pronounce the letter R. Very proud. But I think it's probably that Fergie off the Black Eyed Peas.
Well done. I'll give you your 2 points. I think I assisted to answer that. Yes. Okay, Keith Farnan, here's your quote.
A zebra does not change its spots.
A zebra doesn't change its spots. The Minister for Agriculture, who's that at the moment?
I don't think zebras don't come within agriculture in these islands, do they? How many zebra farms are there?
I didn't realise that this was going to be a debate.
Shall I give you 3 options?
Yes, please.
So was it David Attenborough, Al Gore, or Sarah Palin?
Oh, that's too easy. That's David Attenborough, obviously. Never seen a zebra in his life. Okay, it was Sarah Palin. Obviously Sarah Palin.
Well, obviously wrong. It was Al Gore. So, Imran, here's your quotation.
I'm half your size, but you're 1/10 of the man I am.
I'll give you some options. Is it Fatima Whitbread, Ronnie Corbett, or Jeremy Kyle?
I'll go Ronnie Corbett.
You're going for Ronnie Corbett. Well, you're close but not close enough. In fact, it was Jeremy Kyle, the leading broadcaster. He said it on the Jeremy Kyle Show, which he, by coincidence, presents. Okay, well, never mind. That was a challenging round, but we're coming into land. Let's see who's put their chair into the upright position and who's in the toilet still weeing all over the seat. And the scores are exciting because each of you is on 3 points now, so 3 all.
Round three, it's round three, it's round three, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. You may have heard of Gus and Finn Plus One. Apparently they're an internet phenomenon, but so is identity theft and hardcore pornography. In this round, which is called Guess the Lyric, they will be entertaining us using only their ukuleles, which is not a euphemism, and they'll be singing a modern-day classic. Once they get a few bars in, though, they'll stop and leave the panel to fill in the musical blank, and what we want to do is to guess what a famous person might have come up with. So the first one you have to work with is the political maverick George Galloway. How would he lyrically fill the musical blank in this?
It's cold outside, and the paint's peeling off of my walls. There's a man outside.
Yep.
And I admire his courage, his strength, and his indefatigability.
You went for his original looks, but a very good impersonation. I guess you get 2 points. Yeah, any more? Yes, good.
He's just asked me, do I want to be the cat? That's my 2 bits of George Galloway knowledge.
That's very good. That's yeah, another point for that, because that conjures up that fantastic image of a serious politician. Shall we get on to the next bit of music? This time you have to guess what lyrics Stephen Hawking would fill this musical blank with.
Now the light fades out, and I wonder what I'm doing in a room like this. There's a knock on the door.
Yep.
As I knock on the door, and it's Richard Dawkins who's kidnapped me to prove that there is no God.
Ooh, I think that deserves half a point for its cleverness. The last section of this song, this time, can you guess what lyrics Barack Obama would fill this musical blank with?
Now I hate to ask, but our friend's electric. Only mine broke down.
Good. Yes.
Our friend's electric, mine's broke down, but I'll borrow Michelle's electric friend.
You're splitting the room again, I think. Yeah. Okay, another point for that. Yeah. Okay, well, as you've probably worked out, Gus and Finn Plus One were playing Our Friends Electric, a song by English new wave band Tubeway Army, written by Gary Newman from their 1979 album Replicas. Now, this show has been tested on animals, and I can tell you they didn't like it, but the scores are going very well. Imran, you've raced on to 5, but Keith has edged ahead with 5.5, but Des Clarke has rushed into a shock lead with 7 points. We now come to our specialist subject round, aptly entitled Uneducated Guests. I'll be asking the questions all about dodgy medicine in this case, so much so that I thought we'd rename it, You Can Put Your Trousers Back On Now, Sir, You've Got an Ear Infection. While I'm asking the questions, Gus and Finn Plus One will be playing music in the background, and you've got a chance to write your answers down. So you've got more time on this, not so quick fire. Question 1. Which of these songs could save someone's life? You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer, Baby, Baby, Baby Oh by Justin Bieber, or I Touch Myself by the Divinals? What was so soothing about Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup? In 1518 in Strasbourg, why did doctors prescribe busting some moves and getting funky to plague victims? Okay, those are your questions. So, which of these songs could save someone's life? You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer, or it could be Mac Hammer, this part of the world. Baby, Baby, Baby-O by Justin Bieber, or I Touch Myself by the Divinals.
I was going to say, well, obviously it wouldn't be I Touch Myself, because that would damn you to hell for all eternity.
Yes. Yeah.
According to Father O'Sullivan, I mean, you could touch him, but you couldn't touch yourself. One applauding there, thank you. Thank you, Father.
A modern twist on that.
I actually think the answer is I touch myself.
Yes.
Because if you do touch yourself regularly in the name of medical science, then you're checking for lumps and bits and pieces down the stairs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not as funny, but, you know...
Yeah. But checking for lumps is the excuse you use when you get caught.
It is, yeah. I use that everywhere.
Could you check for somebody else's lumps just to help them out?
Yeah, I've done it.
Done that? All right.
Yeah. You've obviously not been there.
He's doing it right now.
Yeah. I think Clive's been silent for the last minute.
All right, you all deserve points there, but I Touch Myself by the Divinals has 110 beats per minute, and studies suggest a rate between 100 and 120 beats per minute is required to do effective CPR. So doctors recommend when you do CPR, you choose a song at around 100 to 120 beats and sing along as you resuscitate. There's actually an advertising campaign in England that's been running, which is Staying Alive by the Bee Gees is another selection, but we didn't want to use the Bee Gees for some reason. Now, okay, so the next question was, what was so soothing about Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup?
Was it sugar? A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down.
Oh, I see what you've done there. The soothing aspect could be the
Yeah.
sugar. Yeah, okay, I'll bear that in mind. So, Keith, where do you go with this one?
It strikes me as one of those sort of, you know, Dr. Feelgood sort of oil, sort of liquor thing that gets you. So is it that you put pure crack cocaine into it and that really just chilled you out and that soothed you back in the 18th century?
Well, brilliant enough. That is as pretty close as you could get to the answer. So 2 points there.
Yes.
So
Wow.
Keith Farnan. You just slightly underestimated in a way because Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup had in it morphine, chloroform, codeine, some more morphine, powdered opium and cannabis. And they were all ingredients in this 19th century equivalent of Calpol. So the last question I asked you was in 1518 in Strasbourg, why did doctors prescribe busting some moves and getting funky to plague victims?
Maybe the plague occurred during like a very heavy disco era, and they were just advised to dance it off.
Yes. Yeah, 1518 is a very, very disco era.
Yeah, guys with massive afros
Now,
and plague all over
strangely,
the place. Great dancing.
maybe this is a lucky stumble, but I'm going to give you the 2 points. You were closest there. The disco was slightly confusing.
Was it that they had the heebie-jeebies?
The heebie-jeebies.
I mean, it was the plague, so you would expect the Boomtown Rats.
Yeah. Oh, excellent work.
Hang on a minute. Heebie-jeebies gets nothing.
No, they had the dancing plague, and doctors thought that sufferers should just dance it out of their system, even to the point they actually died of heart attacks and strokes rather than actual disease. And milder versions of the illness only causes jazz hands. So that's the end of that round. So that was our medical round. I thought about becoming a doctor once, but I can't stand the sight of people. Anyway, so let's take the music into the next round.
It's round 5.
Very good. F5. It's our fifth and last round, and now in this round we've searched the audience for people with an interesting story to tell, and I'll give the panel 3 clues, then each panellist will get the chance to quiz our victim or our volunteer for 30 seconds. At the end of that time, the panellist must put together the information they've gleaned from both the audience member and the clues and guess their story. So now I'm hoping that we got in the audience James Nichol. Is James Nichol on there? Oh,
hello.
Do stand up so we can see. James Nichol, well done.
Thank you.
So, am I right calling you James? Or could
Well, that's my Sunday name. Jim would be better.
Jim, okay. Okay, Jimmy, what's... you're ready for this. Don't be nervous. Do remember, if you mess up, we'll have to start the whole show again, and no one wants that. I'm giving the clues now. Imran Cole, a special birthday. Jim's story involves 6 degrees of separation, Those are your clues. Your 30 seconds, Des, starts now.
When we're talking about coal, are we talking about the fossil fuel coal?
Yes,
A special birthday, was it your birthday?
it was.
6 degrees of separation, is this a divorce reference?
No.
Imran, is this a person?
Yes.
Is it a person that you met?
No.
Is it a person that is a celebrity? We would all know this person.
Yes.
Did you work in the coal industry?
No.
6 degrees of separation, is that, oh, so, was there a cake? Oh, no.
Oh, you've done very well, Des.
Did all right there.
You covered some territory there, but can you construct a story out of that?
No idea. That was like a speeded up Levison inquiry there.
I think you made about as much progress as some of those questions. Yeah.
Okay, you visited the model Imran and jumped out of a special birthday cake, constructed mainly of coal, and said, I know your cousin's brother's sister's mother, and I think I met your dog once.
I think that's it. I think you've done very well there with the material available. Whether it's close to the truth, we'll tell him in due course. So, Keith, your 30 seconds on the clock starts now.
Can I get someone else, please? I'd like another story. Okay, so were you travelling when this thing happened?
No.
Were you stationary when this thing happened?
Yes.
Did it happen in Scotland?
Eventually it did, yes.
Eventually it did. So
Yes.
did you have is this about having a child? No, it's a special birth, no child. Thanks for that. 6 degrees of separation. Anything to do with Kevin Bacon? No. Anything to do with anything? Imran Cole. Oh God, what?
Fantastic questions. I like that question. Is it anything to do with anything? You're guaranteed an answer, yes, but it doesn't really tell you much, does it?
I was feeling so superior. I'd listen to you going, oh, I'm going to nail this guy. I'm going to nail him. I'm going to bring out my legalese. I'm going to take this guy down. And I just looked at you going, no, I got nothing on you. I got nothing.
You got a story you can construct out of
Yeah,
that?
sure, I've got a story. It'll have nothing to do with him. But here, let's
A better
construct
story
it
that
anyway. So he was stationary, waiting for something spectacular to happen, which was going to happen with an imam, and perhaps to do with burning someone on their birthday. So I think it has a lot to do with Christmas.
Okay. So, Imran, did you want to start with this?
The clues were Imran Cole. Is that one name?
Imran Cole, special birthday. Those are your clues. I've also given you another clue in saying it involves 6 degrees of separation. But you've got 30 seconds now.
Okay. Have you met the famous model Imran?
No.
Do you know Cheryl Cole?
No.
Ashley Cole?
No.
Anybody with the last name Cole?
No. You're doing really well.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, well done, Imran. You illustrated the rule there. You don't have to use up all of your 30 seconds if you think you've already got enough. Have you got any about the story you'd like to make based on the information you've got so far?
He delivered coal to somebody called Imran on their special birthday, and that gave him 6 degrees of separation from everybody else except Ashley Cole or Cheryl Cole and the model Imran.
Well, we're remembering that story, and if that's the closest to the real story, you will win lots and lots of points. So it's literally.
I'll leave now. Thanks, guys.
It's literally exciting.
Yeah.
Jim, if you could tell your story, and then you could give your decision of which one of those stories came closest.
Well, the story was that when I was 50, David Bowie sent me a birthday present. And it was a friend of mine was buying coal for the Scottish Power through an agency in Switzerland, and he was dealing with a guy called Tor Peterson. Tor Peterson's brother is Gunnar Peterson, who's a celebrity trainer. At the time, he was training Tom Daly, who's the quarterback for the NFL Patriots, the New England Patriots. He's married to Giselle Bündchen.
She was friends with who?
Imran, David Bowie's wife.
So how does that mean you got a birthday present? I've got your story written down here. I can't follow it. So
all the way through. My friend asked the guy in Switzerland.
I think you're now going off to another story now.
Anyway, so everyone asked the next person if he could get me a signed photograph of David Bowie. I've been a big fan all my life, and that's what I got.
Fantastic. Well, well done. That's a very good story, Jade. Who do you think came closest out of those? Oh, hang on, you get another microphone. That's just brought in. That is one of David Bowie's microphones. It's just been brought in. Iman has held that in her hand, so that's very exciting. So
I think Des was the closest.
Okay, so 3 points to Des. Well done.
That was some story, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Did you write Tommy Sheridan's defence?
May I just make the point that if I don't know where we are with Tommy Sheridan at the moment. If he's acquitted at the moment, then obviously the suggestion his defence needed to be written is. But if he's convicted of something, then that's the one we're talking about.
He's been convicted. He's back out, and he's hosting a swingers party just round the corner. That's the noise you'll hear at the party.
He's a good-looking guy. So, so looking at the points, I see that in third place is Keith Farnan with 7.5 points. Well done. In second place with 9 points, Imran Yusuf. But the winner, a home victory, rare enough for Glasgow these days, Des Clarke with 11 points. Okay. Thank you very much. All that remains to me is to thank all of my guests today. Imran Yusuf, Des Clarke, Keith Farnan and Gus and Finn +1. You've been listening to The Guessing Game, a show with more risky deductions than an MP's expense account. It's me, Clive Anderson, saying goodbye. Goodbye.
Something ain't right.
The Guessing Game was presented by Clive